my dad retires in 1 year. He's 65 years old and he is not going to sit down and learn a CRM or manage the back end of a merchandise business. I want to make sure to hand off this business as clean as possible. But in other words, without him having to understand how the back end runs or having to even open a laptop to where everything will go through Telegram. How we envision this is breweries, coffee shops, restaurants, businesses that want their own branded merch and need a reliable vendor to keep them restocked. So when their merch runs out, they call us, we restock them. What's really nice about this is that it's recurring. So that recurring revenue just is really sticky and super ideal for when he retires. When I get it to where it needs to be, that's when I'll hand it off to my dad. A retirement job that actually makes money, runs mostly on its own, and all he has to do is the printing. That's what's driving every decision and how we built this. Running a merchandise business manually, kind of how I was doing it in the past a couple of years ago, is a total grind. I ran a surf and lifestyle brand about 2.5 years ago. I ran it for 2, 3 years up north. Every single order means back and forth on pricing, building an estimate, even doing the converting of a logo file. Something just print ready like a vector file is always really difficult to handle. And generating a mockup is also difficult because you have to go through, in my experience, I use Adobe Photoshop or any of those Adobe Suite platforms, and it was tough to learn. And there's a bit of a learning curve. I know, damn as hell, my pops is not going to be able to go through all that I went through to keeping it running efficiently, having to follow up with emails and sending out accurate invoices, having the idea that you need to send out texts, invoices, mockups, email reminders, asking for the files that you need to design the garment are all things that just take up a lot of time. And there is a bit of a learning curve. It's not easy. Hours of admin work that had nothing to do with actually printing anything. So I put it to the side and I put it on the back burner. But the heat press has been sitting in my garage. So I always knew I'd come back to it the right way with a system that could actually run without me. That's what we built. So here's the tech stack. We use 3 tools: GoHighLevel, Hermes, and Claude, right? So this is super exciting because you can look at GoHighLevel as the backbone. It runs our CRM, the pipelines. It runs as a CRM, but also has the pipelines, automations, estimates, invoices, contracts, agreements. Everything client facing runs through GHL. It's the OS for our entire business. Most people use it to send a follow-up text. We're using it as the foundation for a fully automated business line. Claude handles the logic, the file conversions, all the math, calculations, generating the content inside the emails and estimates. We're also using webhooks to connect GHL out to other platforms and APIs so nothing is cooked. Hermes is the engine that ties everything together. Hermes runs 24/7 on a VPS. If you haven't heard of it, it's a virtual private server, and it acts as an autonomous agent. Whether I'm at a desk, away, or sleeping, Hermes actually keeps the business moving forward, simply just running 24/7 from your phone. The way I like to look at it is you're a CEO in a executive office and you're going through your complex and you have these assistants walking up to you, handing you papers with a pen, and you're just simply approving and signing it off. So that's how you can look at Hermes running in this business, is that essentially the only time you actually need to lift a finger is to sign off on something or to approve it to actually be sent out, such as an invoice. So here's where it gets really crazy. Our entire control panel for the business lives in Telegram on my phone. So when an order comes in, the system goes to work. It calculates the pricing, builds the estimates, it preps the invoice, gets the mockup ready, it handles the design files, and then it stops. It waits for me. It sends me a message on Telegram asking for approval before anything goes to the client. I look at it. If it looks right, I tap approve. The email goes out automatically. That is my entire job on the back end. So I'm not logging into GHL. I'm not opening my laptop. I'm not building anything manually. I'm just the final set of eyes before it hits the client. One tap, done. But to be fully transparent, because I want to be real about this, because it matters to me to be transparent with you guys, this is not fully hands-off just yet. There are 2 things we still do manually. One, placing the order for garments and film when we're ready to go into production. And the second thing is the actual printing. Everything else, the client communication, the math, the file prep, the estimates, the invoices, the production updates, is all autonomous. And what used to take hours of admin work for me per order is now just one tap on a phone and just some time at the press. That's what my dad will actually have to do. Literally, he'll just show up, press the shirts, just approve a few things on his phone and Telegram, and go home, right? And of course, make the delivery. So This is what GHL actually unlocks. You got pipelines, workflows, contracts, agreements, webhooks connected to Claude and Hermes. And when you layer the right automation on top of it, you get a business that moves forward on its own without a human even touching it. So the goal was never just to automate tasks. The goal was to automate the entire backend. Eventually that press belongs to my dad. So we're still early on this. What we've already proven is that you don't need a big team or a complicated setup to do something like this. You need the right tools wired together the right way, and GoHighLevel is a starting point for everything we're building. Actually, the link is down below, 14-day free trial, and when you sign up through our link, you get access to our full school community, the snapshots, the SOPs, the workflows, everything's in there. Subscribe, follow along. There's a lot more coming.